Hello party people, welcome back. So today we're just going to be doing a nice and easy flow. This is good for beginners, good for anybody that's just trying to get a stretch more than the strength, and it should feel really nice. Hopefully we'll get all parts of the body. So we're just going to get started lying down. So if you want to find yourself in a nice comfortable lying down position, I like to have my legs bent, my feet flat on the ground, and letting my knees drop together a little bit. And just relaxing back. I'm going to take my hands onto my belly. If that's comfortable for you, you can do the same. You can bring one hand onto your chest if you'd like. And we're just going to start with some nice, slow, easy breaths. So sending some long, deep inhales down to that low part of your belly. And exhaling smoothly out through the nose if that feels good for you. If you need to breathe through your mouth, or some other way, that's fine. But just try to slow the breath down. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling smoothly. Noticing how your inhales and exhales feel, if they feel comfortable and smooth, taking those long, deep breaths, or if maybe you're finding it a little bit challenging to keep you inhaling really long and keeping that exhale nice and smooth. Just noticing if maybe every time you inhale you can lengthen a little bit more. And trying to get your exhales to meet the length of your inhale. So as you're breathing here, just use your breath to sort of scan your body, finding anywhere that you might be holding tension and see if you can melt it. So letting your shoulders melt back and down into the mat, letting your jaw release as you exhale. Finding anywhere in your body that might feel a little bit extra tense or sore, or maybe you have somewhere that's just feeling a little bit not great, or if you have an injury, and just bring your mind there. Remind yourself to keep that part of your body in the forefront of your mind as you're moving through your practice so that you can be kind to it and not kind of irritate it or injure it more. Noticing where your thoughts are wandering to, and just see if you can allow your mind to clear and focus on the way your inhale and exhale feel. Maybe even counting the inhale and the exhale to keep your mind in that present moment. When you're ready, blinking the eyes open if you have them closed. Just bring your arms out to a T. We're going to walk our feet together. If your knees aren't bent, go ahead and bend them. Move your hips over towards the right and let the knees drop over to the left. So you're finding just a nice gentle twist. You can let the knees kind of open up away from each other so that you're not really deep in that twist if that feels better for you. But if it feels good to come all the way over, you can go for that. We're just trying to keep both shoulders on the floor. Sending some long, deep inhales down to the belly. When you exhale, see if you can pull everything in around your spine and maybe find a little bit deeper of a twist. Take one more long, smooth breath here. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. Even out through your hips, bring your feet together, and then we'll move the hips over to the left and let the knees drop over to the right. Again, you can let that top knee kind of open up away from the bottom knee to keep the twist a little bit more gentle. Try to keep that long, slow, smooth breath. When you're ready, gently coming back to center, even out through your hips, hands down by the sides. We're just going to press into the heels, start to lift the hips up just a little bit, squeezing in your glutes, maybe only a couple of inches off the ground. Try to keep your gaze straight up. As you exhale, lower your hips back down, maybe even letting that mid-back release away from the floor. And we'll just move through that a couple of times. So squeezing, lifting. As you exhale, lower back down. Try to see if you can get both hips to come up evenly and exhale to lower them down evenly. This next time, if it feels good, take your fingers to point straight up as you lift your hips, maybe press into the elbows and come a little bit higher. Holding here, breathing deep. As you exhale, slowly lower yourself back down. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest. Pulling the knee in, maybe rotate through your ankle a couple of times. If it feels good, you can extend that left leg long, deepening the stretch just a little bit more, maybe squeezing the left glute. And then we'll take the hands onto the back of the right leg, lengthen that foot up towards the ceiling, pulling your toes back towards your shin. Just find where you feel a stretch, so you're not locking in that knee. If it feels good on your next inhale, walk your hands a little higher. Your head and shoulders can come off the ground. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, see if you can just sink that leg towards you a little bit more. And then bringing the hands down, bend at the knee. Left foot's going to come back on the ground. Bring your right ankle across. Staying here to start. Maybe pressing that knee out. If this feels good, stay here. If you need a little bit deeper of a stretch, you'll bring your legs in, hands on the back of the left thigh. Pull the legs in towards the chest. Try to keep this right foot engaged so you're keeping your knees safe. Still taking long, smooth breaths. And then we'll take that right foot, bring it flat down on the ground, left knee up into the chest, bringing the hands onto the shin if it feels good. Maybe rotating the ankle a couple of times. Just like on the other side, if you'd like to. Right leg can reach long, pulling that left knee into the chest a little bit more. Maybe squeeze your right glute. Just bringing the stretch into the front of your right hip. And then we'll take the hands to the back of the left thigh. Lengthen the leg up towards the ceiling. Pulling your toes back towards your shin, not locking out the knee. Pressing energy up through your heel. When you're ready, if it feels good, bring your hands up onto your calf, head and shoulders off the ground. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, see if you can maybe sink that leg a little closer towards you. And then sliding the hands down, bend at your knee, right foot down to the floor, left ankle across the left or the right thigh. Start by just staying here, maybe pressing the knee out with the hand. And then if you decide you need more, you can bring those knees in towards the chest, hands on the back of the right thigh. Keep that left toe pulling back. And then when you're ready for it, just unwinding those knees, pull both into the chest. Hands on tops of the kneecaps, draw some big circles with the knees as if you're doing the breaststroke. So they're coming out and away from each other. And then we'll take it in the opposite direction. And then taking those knees into center, you can bring your hands by the sides. We're just going to draw the knees over towards the left, away from you, up the right, and back into your chest. Now you're making the circles go in the same direction with both knees. Getting a little bit of a massage down on that low back and the tiniest bit of core work here. Try to keep your navel pulled in. We'll do one more circle in this direction and then take it the opposite way. Notice if you can feel any difference in the way it feels in your hips as you bring that circle the opposite way. When it feels good, come back to center, draw the knees in again, and we're just going to start to rock forward and back. So we're rocking along your spine. If this doesn't feel good, you can just press yourself up to seated. And we'll come all the way up, finding yourself in a nice seated, comfortable position. So if you can sit cross-legged, maybe you need to get a block or a brick or a book or something and sit on the edge of it, and that way you have a little bit more space in your hips. But we're just going to start here. If you like to have your legs out straight instead and that's comfortable for you, you can. But just taking a long deep breath in, relax your shoulders back. We're going to inhale, look up, lift the chin. As you exhale, bring the chin down. Inhale, lengthen, looking up. Exhale, coming down. Try to keep your shoulders pressing down towards the floor. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, coming back down. And then inhale, bring your gaze back to center. Take a deep breath, look over to the left. When you're ready, head back to center, over to the right. Exhale to center. Try to keep moving with your breath. So when you inhale, you're turning your head to the left. When you're ready to exhale, bring the gaze back to center. And then inhale over to the right again. One more time in each direction. Inhaling center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale to center. And exhale over to the right. Come back in, take a deep breath, lengthen up really tall. As you exhale, just fold over. So your hands can come just here. You could even just have them on your knees. If it feels good and you can come down onto your forearm, come there, maybe let your head drop down. On your next inhale, gently slide up, lengthen the arms. Exhale, take the hands down to the heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. We're just going to set an intention. So it's kind of like a little resolution. It could be a goal that you're working towards. For example, if you want to move to Spain, your goal would be moving to Spain, and your intention would be you repeating it in your mind as if it is happening now. So you would just say, I am living in Spain. I live in Spain. I am in Spain. I'm currently moving to Spain, something like that. So just whatever it is, it doesn't have to be yoga related, it could be something that you're trying to manifest in your life, just repeating it in your mind as if it is happening already. On your next inhale, we'll inhale, lengthen up again. Exhale the arms down by the sides. We're going to switch the cross in your legs if it's comfortable. Lengthen the arms up over the head and exhale, fold forward again. Notice if this changes the way that it feels in your hips. And when you're ready, slowly lengthen up, reach to the ceiling really tall as you exhale. Left hand's going to come down. We're going to reach the right fingers as tall as we can, and then as you exhale, start to sink over. On your next inhale, come all the way back up, both hands. Bring the right hand down as you exhale, lengthen as tall as you can, and sink over. Feeling that length down the side of your body. And then inhale, reach all the way back up. We're going to take the fingertips back behind us. So we'll turn so you can see. Fingertips behind us, roll your shoulders back. Start to sink into it. See if you can lift your chin. Just try to open up through your chest. Maybe move your head side to side, feeling the stretch down the side of your arms. And then when you're ready, coming back up, we're going to make our way to all fours. So plant your hands down, spread the fingertips wide, knees right under your hips, try to bring your wrists under your shoulders, and we're going to start by making some circles with the body. So coming over to the left, circle forward to where you feel that stretch in your wrists, but it's not painful. Over to the right, and then back around. So you can sit as far back as feels good, but coming forward into those wrists, be nice and gentle. Try to bring some movement, or bring some breath into the movement, so as you're inhaling forward, and then exhale as you lean back. We'll do one more in this direction. And then when you come to the back, we'll switch over to the right, coming forward, over to the left, and then back. One more big circle here. And then come back to center, send your hips back, take your knees wide if it feels good. If you need to, you can put a pillow underneath your thighs, you can bring a pillow, put it underneath your head. See if you can lengthen your arms out, forehead to the floor. Take a few long breaths here. And then on your next inhale, gently come back up, finding all fours again. We're going to start with our right leg, lift it back behind you. Turn your toes straight down to the ground. So you want your inner thigh lifting, squeeze in your glute, pull your belly in. If it feels okay for you, you can bring your left arm forward, but you can leave it down on the ground if you need to. We're just going to hold here. See if you can squeeze a little higher, pressing into this it's not standing, but this base leg and arm. So you're not sinking down into the ground like this, you're pressing out we're going to bring the hand back down. Take your toes, tuck them under, press into your hands. Feel the stretch down your back of your calf. And then gently release. Keep your left hand down on the floor. You're going to take that right foot, cross it behind the left leg. Slowly start to open your hips first. And then see if you can bring your right arm up, opening your chest towards the ceiling. Maybe make a big circle with that arm. And then as you exhale, close it back down. Find your way back into center. We'll take a round of cat and cow. So chest forward, tailbone up. Exhale, reach the back towards the ceiling. And then come back to center. Pulling your belly in, we'll move to the other side. So left leg is going to reach. Try to take it from your inner thigh, lifting up. Pressing into your left hand, pressing into that right knee. See if you can bring your right arm up. So just like before, it can stay on the ground or bringing it up. Just holding here. Keep pulling in through your belly. Try to lift that heel. On your next exhale, taking your hand down, take your toes down to the floor. We're going to press back into the heel. Try to get that stretch in your calf. And then just releasing away. Keep your right hand on the ground. Your left foot is going to step behind the right foot. Left arm's going to start to open up towards the ceiling. Maybe draw a couple of circles. And then as you exhale, slowly come back to center, flow through cat and cow. We're going to pull our belly in. Take your arms forward so that they're reaching long. See if you can just bring your head down between them. Not coming down towards playing puppy, just like a kneeling downward facing dog. Maybe you can bring your chest a little bit further so you're trying to get your hips and your wrists in a line. And then if it feels good, looking forward, keeping those hips right above your knees, maybe you can start to sink your chest down a little bit further and then lift. So just inhaling and exhaling, trying to get some openness through those underarms, in that upper back. Every time that you move, you're breathing, inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower down. And then when you're ready, walk your hands back just a little bit so they're not all the way underneath your shoulders. We're going to tuck our toes, keep your knees bent really deep, and start to send your hips up. So you're keeping that deep bend in the knees, pressing the weight back into your feet, and then we'll slowly come back down. Doing that a couple more times. So just lifting a little, hips as high as you can, knees bent really deep, almost like you're trying to get your hips and your chest together. Not your hips, your knees and your chest together. And then we'll lower back down. And we'll take that one more time, lifting up. Keep the length in your spine, keep the length from your wrist to your hips the same. Start to slowly straighten your legs. So you might only get them a little bit straight. Just make sure that you're not bringing your shoulders over your wrists. You're keeping that length between your wrist and your hip, and you can start to pedal your legs. So if you need to, pause this, set up your phone, put the timer on, find your way into down dog, and notice how you're holding it. Because if you're over like this, you just need to bend the knees and try to press back towards your knees. When you're ready, we're going to walk our hands back to our feet. Coming to the back of the mat, slowly roll all the way up. Lengthen up towards the ceiling. And exhale, fold all the way back down. Bend the knees really deep so your belly and thighs can come towards each other. Inhale, roll back up. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll down. We're going to hold this time, keeping those knees bent a little bit. We're going to come halfway up, hands onto the shins. Try to roll your shoulders back, start to straighten the legs out. And then exhale, fold back down. So every time you're coming up, maybe you can get those legs a little bit longer. Exhale to come down. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come down. One more time like that. Exhale to come down. We're going to walk our hands all the way back out. Come down onto your knees. Send your hips back. Find a child's pose. On your next inhale, gently shift yourself all the way forward onto your belly. Roll the shoulders back. Hands are going to be right underneath the elbows, right next to the ribs. Pull your belly in. Let's press the tops of the feet into the ground. Press the pelvis into the ground. We're just going to lift the tiniest bit up. So you should be able to lift your hands off the ground. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Press your pelvis in. As you exhale, slowly lower back down. Doing the same thing. So squeezing those elbows towards each other. Inhale, just the chest up. And exhale back down. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. We're going to bring the hands out. Come up onto the fingertips as if you have a cupcake under your hands. Roll the shoulders back. We're going to come a little bit higher. So if it feels good, coming up. Try not to press the weight into your low back. So your pelvis is pressing down, your booty is squeezing. As you exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lowering down. So you're almost like massaging that front part of your body by rolling it on the ground. One more time here. And then we're going to bring our hands right underneath the shoulders, press back to all fours, and find your way back to downward facing. So tuck the toes, send the hips up first with the knees bent really deep, and then start to adjust your legs without bringing your shoulders forward. See if you can widen through that shoulder girdle so you're bringing your underarms towards each other underneath you. And then we're going to look forward and walk our feet to the top of the mat. Come halfway up, lengthen. See if you can roll your shoulders back. Maybe your legs can get a little bit longer. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, roll back up, lengthen. Exhale, fold back down. And inhale, roll all the way up, reach to the ceiling. See if you can come onto your tippy toes. Holding here. Try to press into that big toe mound on each foot. Try not to roll out to the pinky toe side. As you exhale, bring the heels down, hands back to your heart. Close your eyes, bring your mind back to your intention. Centering yourself in the present moment. And then blinking your eyes open. Take your hands down. We're going to step back with that right leg. We're going to find warrior. This is a left leg. Step back with your left leg. We're going to find warrior 2. No? Dang it. We're going to find warrior 1. So try to keep your spine and your pelvis in line. Bring that back hip forward and start to sink in. So for me, my calf is really tight today, so that's a little bit too far out. So I'm gonna just bring that back foot in a little bit so that I can sink into the front foot and start to squeeze my hips forward, lengthen the arms up above the head. If it feels good for you and you have the ability to bring your fingertips together, you can, maybe looking up for a moment. Just keep trying to press that pelvis forward. So this left glute is squeezing. On your exhale, we're going to take the hands down behind the back, open your chest, and slowly start to come forward, finding your way into humble warrior. So your shoulders coming right down to your knee. Try not to let your hips pop out. You're squeezing them in. If it feels good, you can reach your arms away from you. Maybe just bend the elbows and bring the knuckles into your low back. Notice what you're doing with the weight in that front foot. Press it into the heel. And then on your next inhale, we're going to press all the way back up, lengthening. Take the hands down onto your hips. Step that back foot in a little bit more. Straighten out your front leg. Back hip's going to come forward. Lengthen tall. As you exhale, we're going to start to sink forward. So you might not be able to come very far. You can bring your hand onto your thigh if you need to. And just make a dynamic movement here. So you're just going to come down a little bit to where you feel the stretch. And inhale to lift back up. Keep pulling this left hip forward. Inhaling down. I guess exhaling down, inhaling up makes more sense. Maybe your hamstring's not feeling tight and you can bring the hands down onto the shin. Maybe you want to get some more of a weight, like a workout here, a little bit of strengthening, keeping the hands on the hips and using those legs. And the next time you come down, see if you can hold. If it feels good for you, you can have your hands on your leg, or maybe you can bring your hands into fists, press them together, and try to lift your elbows up. Every time you exhale, see if you can get your spine a little longer. And then on your next inhale, come all the way up. Lengthen, turn yourself to the long edge of the mat. Toes facing forward, inside edge of your feet are parallel. Bring them out a little bit more if you need to. Press into both feet. Lengthen your chest up. You're going to take this crease here right where your hip and your leg meet. Start to fold from there. Hands can come wherever feels good. You can bend your knees if you need to. Not coming too crazy deep into this. And try not to round through your spine. So you're keeping your chest lengthening forward. On your next inhale, take your hands onto your hips. We're going to lengthen all the way up. We're going to turn our left toes towards the back of the mat. Adjust your right foot. We're going to find a warrior two on this side. So squeezing that hip forward, find where it feels good, and sink down into that right leg. Keeping your pelvis and spine and shoulders all in a line. So you're pressing your hips forward. Find where it feels good, and then lengthen up. Inhaling. Palms together if it feels good, just like on the other side. Maybe you can look up. And then we'll take the hands down behind the back, clasping, open your chest up, and we'll bring the shoulder down towards the knee. Try to keep the hips underneath you. You're not letting them pop out. Maybe your arms can reach away. Keep pressing into the heel of that front leg. When you're ready, we're going to slowly come back up, releasing your arms. Straighten out your front leg. Back foot's going to step in. We're going to find pyramid again. So squeeze that back hip forward. Lengthen up. Get really long. As you exhale, start to sink down. Hands can come onto your thigh. Find where you feel the stretch, not where it's really painful. And then you can start to move in and out. So coming a little bit higher out so that you don't feel the stretch so much, and then exhale coming into where you feel it. Maybe each time it can come a little bit lower. And try to keep pressing into that big toe mound so you're not rolling to the outside of that foot. Just like before, as you're here, maybe you can start to bring yourself down a little bit more. Make sure you're not locking out your knee. It's nice and soft. You can move it. The next time that you're down, you can hold it, just like on the other side, maybe bringing the fists together behind you and squeezing those elbows up. See if you can lengthen your spine a little longer. And when you're ready, pressing into that leg, release. Turn your legs out to the side. This time we're just going to bring our feet together and we're going to find tree pose. So starting on the left foot, spread your toes really wide, press the weight into it. You're going to bring your right leg up, and you can start with the toe just on the ground. So I want you to try to get your knee out rather than trying to get your foot higher. So if you're here with your foot up like this, it's not really what we're going for. We're trying to open up. So opening up through that knee, opening up through that hip. The foot can be on the floor, it can be on the inside of your calf, or you can move it higher if it feels good using your arm. Just keep trying to squeeze it open. You're pressing your foot and your leg towards each other, lengthen tall, pull in through your core, and then see if you can make this a challenge. So maybe you can bring your arms up. Maybe this is good. Maybe you want to look up. Keep squeezing those glutes, squeezing in through the belly. Maybe you can close your eyes. See if you can allow your shoulders to melt away from your ears. So they're relaxed, but you're still reaching out through the fingertips. If it feels good, you can bring your right hand down onto your right leg and gently start to bend over, making it a little bit more challenging. And then when you're ready, coming back up, release that leg down, shake out your standing leg, and we'll move to the other side. So right leg, spread your toes, press into the foot, start to lengthen up, and then bring that left foot to the inside of the ankle to start bringing that knee open. We want to keep it open. So squeeze your glutes, pull in through your core. Maybe you can move the foot higher. Maybe you want to bring it all the way up, but you want it to be able to squeeze out to the side. So if bringing it high brings it forward, let's keep it low. Find your balance here. Squeeze in the glutes, pull in the belly. Maybe your arms can reach up. You want to find where you find this to be difficult, not somewhere where you can hold it forever. So maybe looking up. Keep squeezing that knee open, using those glutes. Maybe you can close your eyes. Ooh. Wobbling around. Try to let the shoulders relax down so the arms are relaxed, but they have energy reaching out through the ends. And then if it feels good, just like on the other side, you can bring that left arm down to your legs, start to lean, getting that length down your right side of the body, and just making this balance a little bit more challenging. When you're ready, slowly coming back up, and then release that leg out. Shake it out. We'll step the feet wide. We're going to come back into a wide forward fold. Hands onto the hips. Lengthen out. Press into both feet like you're trying to rip your mat in half, and we'll start to fold forward. So just coming down to where you feel the stretch, and then holding there. When you're ready, we're gonna come halfway up. We're gonna walk our hands to the front, walk that back foot up, find your way into a forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, rock side to side. See if you can maybe get your legs a little longer this time. And then we'll come halfway up, lengthen the spine. On your exhale, folding down, we're going to step back with the left foot. So step your foot back, come down onto your knee. We're going to find a kneeling lunge. So top of the back foot is onto the floor. Press the foot into the ground so you're taking the weight out of the knee. Adjust your front leg as you need to so you can keep your knee right above your ankle. If it feels good, lengthen the arms up. Keep squeezing the glute on that left leg so that you're getting the stretch in your hip flexor, but you're not putting all of your weight into it. So this glute is keeping it safe. On your next exhale, we're going to take the hands down to the inside of that front foot. I'll turn a little bit so you can see better. And then we're just going to let the inside of that foot peel off the ground. Your knees coming out. Your foot is coming off the floor. Maybe you want to move around here a little bit, letting that knee drop in and out. Maybe it feels good to put your left hand down and kind of press that knee out a little bit further. Keep squeezing the glute on that left leg. And then taking yourself back down. We're going to take our hands forward. See if you can press into your right foot and step your left leg back up. And we'll do the other side. So just coming halfway up, lengthen your spine, even everything out. Exhale to come down, step back with your right foot. Bring the right knee down to the ground. Adjust your left leg so your ankle is right underneath your knee. And bring yourself up. Squeeze through that right leg. When you're ready, hands will come down to the inside of your foot. You're going to walk the foot out just a little bit. Let the sole of the foot peel off the ground. Your toe and your knee are going in the same direction. And then you can make some movements here. Keep squeezing that right glute. Or just like on the other side, if you like to, you can take your right hand to the ground, your left knee just pressing that knee out a little bit more. When you're ready, slowly coming back. This time we're just going to bring that knee back behind us and sink your way down into a child's pose. Knees wide if it feels good. So from here, if you'd like to, you're going to take your left arm out to the side. Your right hand is going to come flat down on the ground. Here, I'll turn so we can see better. You're going to keep your chest down, and we're just going to start to press into that right hand. So you're going to get a little bit of a stretch kind of down the bicep, all the way into the hand. Try not to let your elbow lock. And then come back to center, and we'll do the other side. So just pressing in, depending on where you feel the tightness. It might be feeling it in your shoulder, or it might be on your bicep, might be down into your fingertips. We'll do each side one more time. So bringing the right hand down, left arm out. Just press into your right hand and start to open your chest towards the right. One more time on the other side. And then slowly press up. Go ahead and cross out your ankles. We're just going to come to seated. So soles of the feet together, knees dropping out if that feels good. Try to adjust yourself. Hands can come right underneath the feet, lengthening really tall, and you can lean forward if you like to. Otherwise, just bringing your hands right behind you, roll your shoulders back, and lengthen your spine as much as you can. Try to let those knees reach down. Bringing your focus back into your breath, maybe back to your intention. And then when you're ready, we're going to take those knees, bring them straight back up. I'm going to sit on a block for this next thing. So if you have a book or a cushion or a block, if you want to, we're just going to come into a wide seat, and I like to do it elevated a little bit. So I'm going to bring myself right onto the edge of this block so I can kind of tilt off of it. Feet are going to come straight up. Try to lengthen really tall. So starting out, we're just going to bring the hands forward a little bit. See if you can sink forward and then back. And just kind of play with moving into that edge of stretch, noticing if one leg feels a little different than the other. Keeping those toes pulling back towards you. And then if it feels good from here, we're just going to start to bring the opposite hand over to the opposite leg. So right hand's going to come over towards the right leg. We'll come through center, left hand to the right leg. I don't know if I said the first time right, but that's okay. So right hand to left leg. Try to keep your spine nice and long. Left arm to right leg. And just kind of slide back and forth. So maybe you can't come all the way over and you just need to stay in the center. That's okay. Try to move with your breath. So every time you're exhaling, maybe you're coming into center and then inhaling to the other side. Or maybe just inhaling to one side and exhaling over to the other. And then we're going to come back into center. Hands walking in, bring them right back behind you. Open your chest. We're going to see if we can turn our toes back behind us. And then just gently rotate them back up. So you're just moving them a little tiny bit, back a little bit, and then up towards the ceiling. And then coming in through center, we're going to take the hand right underneath the left leg. Take the left sole of the foot to the inside of the right leg. Right hand inside the right leg. Open your chest towards the left and just start to slide down to where you feel a stretch. Down the side, maybe in your hamstring. If you can reach your foot, go for it. But we're going to take our left hand behind us and keep trying to spiral your chest open. So you're pressing into your right hand and trying to sink down. You can let your head kind of relax. Maybe it doesn't feel good to look up and you want to look down. And then slowly press yourself back to center. We'll switch our legs. Left hand to the inside of the right leg. Left hand to the inside of the left leg. Turn your chest towards your right leg and just start to sink over. Just finding where you feel the stretch. Bring your right arm back behind you, opening your chest up. And then just like before, if looking up is too much strain on your neck, you can look down. Just try to keep your chest opening, so it's only your neck that's turning down. On your next inhale, gently press yourself up, hand under the knee, bring it back in. If you're sitting on something like I am, go ahead and come off of it. We're going to bring the soles of the feet down onto the ground. Turn your fingertips to face your hips. We're gonna roll our shoulders back, just press into your hands and your feet and start to open your chest up. So you maybe only come here. That's okay, you're trying to bring your shoulder blades towards each other. If it feels good, you can come higher. Maybe you like to let your head drop back. And then as you exhale, just gently come back down onto the floor, all the way onto your back, knees into your chest. Rock around. We'll take our knees back into center. You can take the soles of the feet to the ground if you want to. Arms out to a T. Move the knees over to the left a little bit and move the hips to the left a little bit. Let the knees drop over to the right. Just like we did at the start of class, as you inhale, try to take as much air into your belly as you can. As you exhale, tighten through that core. See if you can deepen your twist by pressing your left shoulder into the ground. When you're ready, slowly come back to center. Even out through your hips, and then you'll bring them over to the right and let the knees drop to the left. Send deep, long breaths into that belly. As you exhale, pull everything in. Maybe you can bring your chest towards the ceiling a little bit more. And then when you're ready, slowly bring yourself back to center. We'll bring the soles of the feet onto the ground, knees pointing straight up. We're just going to take those rolling bridges like we did at the start of class. And hands down on the floor, looking up at the ceiling. You shouldn't have your neck against the ground, just the back of your head. Press into your heels, start to lift your hips just a little bit, squeezing the glutes as you exhale, lower the hips back down. And just move through that a few times. Last time here. And then as you exhale, lower down, lengthen your legs out, bring your arms out by the sides, palms facing up. Take a long, deep inhale. And as you exhale, release everything out through your mouth. And just let your breath relax back into its natural state. Relaxing here. Trying to allow your mind to either focus in on your breath or maybe just repeating your intention in your mind. So if you'd like to take a longer Shavasana, just go ahead and tune out or turn off your device. Otherwise, you can start to bring some movement back into your body, maybe starting really small with just rubbing your thumb across the pads of each of your fingers and gently starting to curl your toes and then straighten them back out. As it feels good, maybe making the movements a little bit bigger, rotating in your ankles, rocking your legs. Maybe starting to move in your shoulders a little bit, just reawakening through all of your limbs. You can take the arms and lengthen them up over the head. Take a deep breath in, stretching through the whole body. And then just bending one knee at a time, gently roll off onto one side. Use the bottom arm as a pillow. And just take a moment here, allowing yourself to release any judgments that you had about your practice. And then when you're ready, just taking yourself slowly up to a seated position, maybe beginning to blink your eyes open. I'm going to take the palms to face up, take the gaze down towards the floor and let it be soft. And we're just going to take a couple of long, smooth inhales and exhales. So inhaling in through the nose. If it's comfortable, exhaling out through the nose. Maybe focusing back in on your intention. And when you're ready, just take a long, deep inhale. Reach the arms up over the head. Lengthen as tall as you can. When you're ready, exhale the hands down to your heart center. Take a moment to give gratitude to your body. And I thank you so much for coming and joining me. I hope that you liked that. If you did, go ahead and leave me a comment. Make sure you subscribe so that you get notifications for when I post new videos. If you have anything that you'd like to see in class, you can just leave me a comment or you can send me an email and I will see what I can do. Thanks again. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.